Right. Yeah. What do you do when all hell breaks loose and you're doing live videos? Hi, I'm Catherine Taylor, and I am a video interviewer. I love meeting people and speaking with them about their journeys through life or about books they've written. And I do just that on my two shows, Let's Get Writing and Let's Get Talking. But today, what I'm doing is actually going back to something that I really truly love to do, which is share things with you that I experience on my journey to lives. And I've got quite a few tips for you along the way. And today, I think this one is a particularly good one called What Do You Do When All Hell Breaks Loose? So I've been working quite a bit on my presentation on how things look, how I sound, and that's normal. The more you get into this, the more you want to polish what you're doing. Because if you're just going on a Zoom call, for sure, it's for work or whatever. It's not quite the same thing. But as you get into thinking, well, I'd like to share things with people, or I'm going to have a show, and then you want to polish things a little bit more. And actually, you can polish your Zoom calls pretty nicely too with the tips I'm sharing. But this particular day, I came here. This behind me is my little set that I have. And the reason I have it, I can't work from home because I live in a rural, so-called rural part of the province. And I'm in Newfoundland, Canada, just outside of the town. And I can't get high speed. So I'm on satellite network. And it's good for some things, but not for streaming live. So that goes back to my point. Check what your sources are, because if you're going live and you don't want the day from hell, you need to know that your system and your come up to town, and I have a little area that I've set up as a studio, and then that's where I work. So it's been really fun over the past few months putting this together, and maybe even more fun than working at my house, because I got to take it and build from the bottom. And you too can do this. This doesn't take a lot of work. You can set an area in your house that you more or less have where you're going to do your lives, and it's pretty easy to pull it together when you need to pull it together. And it doesn't matter what's happening around this space. Anything could be happening around this space, and even sometimes things could be happening in it, because it's all about real life and entertainment. But I do have a dog here today, and she's being very, very good. Now, what happened today? I got up. It was snowing. I should have taken a hint from that. It hasn't been a very snowy winter, but today we had some snow. Anyway, I had quite a few things I wanted to record today. So I came up, realized, heck, I'd forgotten my laptop. So, okay, back to get that. And so on. Then I get everything set up, and I didn't have some of the cords that I needed. And trust me, when you're working out of two places, sometimes you need them at one place, sometimes you need them at the other place. My advice is, in these situations, have two sets of everything. Really, the small investment to have those things there for you is well worth it, instead of doing what I did today, going, oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. And I'll just show you, like, I have all kinds of connectors around that fit. And one of the challenges with technology today, of course, is that at least with Apple, it seems like they're constantly changing connectors. Or if I upgrade a piece of my equipment, it's different. So I always keep a good supply of those on hand. Okay, I had a pretty good supply, but not good enough. I left behind my power cord, not thinking my laptop shouldn't go down, but I had a light plugged into it. I had a mic plugged into it. So all that power was driving the technology. Poor old laptop battery, new laptop, but it just wasn't going to sustain that. So I had to give up on that project today, which comes to my next point. Had that been something that I needed tonight, and I don't need it till tomorrow night. So plan ahead, be a 1 or 2 or 3 days ahead with your material. Now, that wasn't a live that I was doing today. It was something that I needed to record for a premiere tomorrow night. And the good thing about it is that I have a whole other day to get all my stuff together and actually do it. So advice when you're doing these things, really think ahead scheduling. Don't leave it for the last minute for a couple of reasons. If you're working under pressure, you're not going to feel as relaxed. You're not going to feel nearly as comfortable. That's when you make mistakes. And that's when you are so uptight when you're on screen that you can't think properly. So plan ahead and do things ahead. And then that way you've always got that breathing room. And even with anything that I'm doing, if I'm doing a live interview, I like to get up here at the studio in advance. I review my settings before I go, make sure that the camera is on the right setting. And how I think of all of this stuff is because I have had occasions where I haven't done it. So learn as you go, but these are some great tips. I tell you, these are fabulous tips to give you a quality product, hopefully over and over and over once you get them down. And if things do go wrong, like the day I had, for heaven's sakes, stay relaxed about it. If you've built time into your schedule, you can be relaxed about it. You don't have to be so uptight or angry at yourself or anyone. It's just what happens sometimes. So when all hell breaks loose, I guess it comes down to essentially be prepared. And be prepared for that. Have the gear you need. And when these things happen, take note of what you did not have and what you do need, and just keep it there. And if you're like me, you have 2 locations that you're working out of, well, keep them both stocked. Really doesn't hurt to do that. So I hope this is a helpful tip to you if ever you're in my situation that I was in today. And please let me know your thoughts. If there's anything I can answer or share, I'd be only too pleased. I'm coming to you from Grand Falls, Windsor, Newfoundland, Canada, and it's a pleasure to be sharing some of these thoughts with you. And check out my interviews, if you would, on YouTube at Catherine Taylor TV. Pretty much everything I have is there. A lot of my programs, many of these tutorial lives, and who knows what's going to be there, because